Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM22 One Club story from Hemel Hempstead Town with me, Daniel. We're back today for part 149. We have finally got strikers scoring. You can see our top scorers in double figures and he's finally come good. There's a few more adding to their totals as well. But it is a big episode on so many fronts. We have got our second highest ever sale at £170 million about to go through. And this one is the most surprising of the lot because unlike the last two, I wouldn't say he's world class. But then perhaps more importantly, we play the two sides directly below us in the league. There are 3 points separating the top three, 6 points separating the top six. This title race is going to the wire. And just as it looked like we were going to run clear, our old bogey side, our old foe, Newcastle United, are back in town. So if you're looking forward to seeing how we get on today and all of the chaos that's surrounding the club at the minute, then please do put a thumbs up on the video and subscribe down below for daily FM22 content. You can find in the eye above links to the new experiment from last weekend as well as the top 3 playlist. There's also the Viborg save where we were building in Scandinavia, and the football podcast, which is back for a brand new season. We've got plenty of live streams coming up in August, so please do check us out on Twitch too, and you can support the show as a channel member by clicking the join button down there. But let's get going, because we today face Liverpool in a battle for top spot. We've got both of our first choice centre halves out, and we're about to lose a player for £170 million. I could delay it a week, but we've already got the replacement, so I might not need to do that. We're at the start of a horrible run of congested games every 3 or 4 days, and it's a spell of horrible away games coming up after as well. But let's have a look at the schedule, because you need to know what has been happening in the long time since you were last with me. Probably one of the longest spells I've gone off camera, for 2 reasons. One, these 2 games were too big to ignore. Secondly, the cup ties weren't particularly difficult, bar the Southampton Cup one. And third, we were on a run of winning one day and I just didn't want to close FM because I'm superstitious like that. So you were last with me for narrow victories against United and Spurs. Boy, I would take a repeat of those scorelines today. We then drew 0-0 at home to Inter in the Champions League. No need to be fussed, we were already through and we rotated and managed to get a draw. We then beat Everton comfortably 3-1 at home with Torres, Coronel and Joe getting a goal apiece. Defeat at Norwich on the Wednesday night. We struggled with the 3 a week still. Fitzrubeck with a goal, but it wasn't enough as Alban, the long-term target, put us to the sword. Then the run of wins started. It started fairly calmly. A 1-0 at Leeds, Fitzrubeck with the winner. A 2-0 at Sporting Lisbon in the Champions League with Carlos Martin and Miguel Coronel on the score sheet. A 3-2 win in a thriller at home to Chelsea. 2 for Srubeck, 1 for Carlos Torres there. A 4-0 win in the Carabao Cup final against Fulham. Azoma, De Vita, Ramwell Moss, one of the youngsters who's now out on loan, and Stamatis late on there. A 5-1 win at home to Southampton in the league. 2 for Srubeck, 2 for Coronel, 1 for Azoma. 4-0 against Burnley, 2 for Coronel, 1 for Srubeck, 1 for Hanifan. A 4-0 then 2 days later at Sheffield United, 2 for Martin, 1 for Azoma, 1 for Torres. Into January, a 2-1 win at home to Palace, Azoma and Coronel with the early goals there. A 6-0 win in the first leg at the Carabao Cup semi-final. A hat-trick for Alberto Vaz, the third a rebound from a missed penalty. 2 for Torres and the opener came from John Mellon. A 1-0 win in a repeat of last year's FA Cup final. Fitzrubeck saving us the problems in the third round. We then drew non-league Accrington in the fourth, which would be a really interesting tie. A 2-0 win in the second leg of the Birmingham game. Martin and Vaz yet again. And then the bogey side came up. Newcastle United away, the same side that ruined our return 2 episodes ago, and he did the same. A 1-0 defeat at St James's, and a title race has hotted up again. So let's have a look at the schedule, because we've got a massive end to February coming up. We've got Real Madrid in the Champions League knockout, the side that put us out in the quarters last year, and our prize for winning the group was to face the best runners-up there could have possibly been. We've also got Southampton in the Carabao Cup final. We've done well against them this year, but they beat us at Wembley in last season's FA Cup final. And in the end of the season is just chaotic. So I have no idea what to expect here. What I do know is we're about to make an awful lot of money. Let me first, though, show you the work that's been done in the transfer window so far. Basically, 1 player in and a couple of players out. So, a few on loan. One of them, Ramwell Moss, we saw scoring a cup tie. He's not going to make it. and Robert Markey, who'd been on the bench a couple of times, but again, probably not going to make it to the top level. We also loaned out one of the best youngsters from last year's intake, but again, probably a long way to go and touch and go whether they make it. But we have signed for 21.5 million, and it will give you a big clue as to the position of the player we're selling. Frederik Anders from Schalke, a 23-year-old German international forward, only rated 2.5 star. I'm not sure if I agree with that. Great corner taker, monstrous heading ability, but if you take aside the fact that he's really strong and otherwise looked at him as if he were an advanced forward, his attributes are really good. So I'm looking forward to working with him. I think he'll do well. Just over 1 in 3 was his rate for Schalke, so if we can replicate that here, he should score as many as anyone else has this year. But he is in to replace a big name sale. Let's show you what's been happening, because Bayern Munich have again come in for one of our centre forwards. They have spent a combined 345 million on 2 strikers from our football club, plus the 40% sell-on clauses. It really is absolutely baffling. So Tyrese Ricketts is going for 170 million, 95 up front, 75 in guaranteed instalments, with the sell-on at 24 years of age. You've got a much better chance of getting that than the Ricker one. Ricker is still there, so hopefully Ricketts comes in, does well, pushes Ricker down the order, we sign him in the summer. There's the long-term plan. But Ricketts, he'd been out injured for 6 to 7 weeks, has scored 5 in 18 this season. He's hardly been prolific, 29 goals in 100 appearances. We signed him for 19.5 million, following Fulham's relegation from the Premier League. And we're selling him for 190. The Mailton and Ricker ones made sense. They were firing. They were match winners constantly for our football team in the year before that. Ricketts hasn't been that at all. So I basically bit their hand off when they offered this. I tried to negotiate originally to the 175 we sold Ricker for. They offered us this, and I'm all for it. Tyrese Ricketts is off, but in a week's time. I'm going to delay it so he can play today, and then Tyrese Ricketts will be off to Bayern next week. For now, though, it's time to get into our first game today, because it is a big clash at the top of the Premier League table. The next 2 games are going to be season-defining in the Premier League. And without our first choice centre-halves today, I am petrified of coming up against Liverpool. What we're going to do, though, is pick our best 11 and be back in a minute to run through it, because our January transfer work is done and the full focus is on the pitch. A very difficult day for us as we go back to what was essentially our bottom half centre-half partnership. Hannafan and Striker together at the back again. Mellon and Klass either side with John Moore in goal. A midfield diamond, a vastly improved one in terms of star ability, of Andreka, Stamatis, Coronel and Joe. And I should say Alberto Vass, the final signing of Marcus Morris, our old director of football. Now 4-star ability as well. Someone signed for less than 20 million. Insane find. I'm kind of hoping the same will happen with Anders, because Vass only had 3-star potential as well. Strubeck and Tyrese Ricketts are up front. Can he leave us with a parting gift? Or will he go all German Moreira on us? Let's go and find out. Into the first of today's 2 games. I'm really nervous about this. 5 changes for us from the Newcastle defeat, and we certainly haven't got any stronger defensively. Jurgen Klopp still in charge of Liverpool. Freytag, a player we tried to sign, as is Carlos Miguel, the sub-goalkeeper. Messam, the sub-centre midfielder. I mean, the players that we would have had in our first team are basically on their bench. That's how strong they are. Liverpool have become superb in the last few years of this save. But as we head through the tunnel interview into the first half, a win could help us go a long way to stopping and winning the title this year. If we can win the next 2, it would then be a disaster if we bottled it. We are back after 29 very quiet minutes with a corner to the back post, headed away to Freytag, and Liverpool on the counter. Striker gets back. I was about to ask where on earth our defence had gone. Mellon knocks down for Strubeck. We're on the counter now. Collins and Joe is in. Is he onside though? VAR will check. My initial reaction was just off. I can't lie. Please be wrong. I was wrong. Collins and Joe delivers again. Up to 3.5-star ability. He's worth 100 million. He's been a good replacement for Mailton. And he's back in the first 11. Ahead of Carlos Martin. And he's showing us why. As at half-time, we stay 1-0 up with our only shot on target. Liverpool only had one as well. It's been a really poor, cagey game. but I couldn't care less if we win 1-0, as Mellon's got a throw on the right early in the second half, and Dreger back to him again, Hannafan down for Stamatis, wide to Andreka. Why are there so many up from a throw-in? Who cares? Because Stamatis, from the layoff from Andreka, has hit a pile driver into the bottom corner, smashes against the side netting and in, no chance for the keeper. At the time, 2 shots on target, 2 goals, 2 midfield superstars, and now Coronel's got a free kick, almost makes it 3. What a performance. Stamatis has been superb. He is now bona fide world class. And I don't want to say it too soon. Could this be the year? Could it be the one? If we hold on for this game, we've got one hell of a chance. As we're into the last 20, the strikers are letting us down again. Vitz Rubeck is the one that's not off soon, so I should probably protect him. Coronel's on a yellow card. Let's get him off for Alberto Vaz. Let's also get Ricketts off for maybe Carlos Torres. I'm going to go for him just so I can drop him to number 10 later. Because if with 5 minutes to go, it's still 2-0. I'm going to my back 5. Haven't got another centre-half, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We need to time waste if we get there. 18 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Oh, there's tactical changes pending and Liverpool in possession. I'm going to cancel them because I know what it means. As it goes down the right, Senga goes backwards. Can we nick it? Freitag still got it. It's a wonderful player at right back. One of the best, if not the best in the world. Gallant on the left. Another man we tried to sign this summer. Gets down the byline. Chance to cross. There's 4 in the middle for Liverpool. To the back post. Senga's up. Good save, John Moore. Made it comfortable. It's a good save. With 17 to go, I can remake those changes. Alberto Vaz is on, as is Carlos Torres. Now breathe. Make it a quiet finish, please. Why is it happening again? Just let me make the changes without having to see a highlight. What's John Moore doing there? Is that the old Jordan Pickford dramatic drop, is it? As Mellon at the back keeps possession. The changes are made. And now with 10 to go, I'm going to think about the time wasting. As we've got it on the right with Mellon. Or do I just take him off because he looks shattered and he's on a yellow? But Chauvin's 1 yellow from a suspension, so I was trying to save him for midweek. As Hannafan over to Njo, it might not matter. Good save, Barbosa. Oh, it's wonderful play on the counter. We've not had many chances, but we've looked very good when we've gone forward. And here is Stamatis with the corner, headed away at the back post. It's going out towards the byline, but Flynn keeps it in, and now Liverpool can counter us. You've got so many options going forward. Freitag's one of them. Options down the right. 2 making a run into the middle. Gatica holds up for Senga. Back to Valenzuela. Mellon heads away, but only as far as Gallant. It's not over yet. That highlight is now. But we're straight back with Mellon, who finds Stamatis. Please give me a third and let me relax. And Drecker to striker. It's been okay today. Definitely the worst of the back 4, but still okay. Stamatis, wide to Mellon. Through ball towards Rubeck. Up to Njo. He's got space and he's got support. Goes alone over the bar. Didn't need to shoot there. We've got 6 minutes left. I'm going to do it. Vitz Rubeck will come off. We'll bring on Rodrigo de Vita, which is a bit of an unconventional move. But then I can put one of them into centre-half. I think de Vita will be that one. Who's the best in terms of anticipation? So striker's absolutely excellent. Hannafan's not bad. And in terms of de Vita, he is very good as well. Let's go to that tactic then, shall we? We'll put Torres up front on his own. We'll put de Vita as centre-half, striker between the two. And we're just going to hold on. There's 5 minutes plus stoppages. We're 2-0 up. And this result is too good to throw away. It's boring. It's efficient. It's not been an exciting match. But in 1 minute of stoppage time, Liverpool might well get a goal. But they are not going to get any points out of this match. It will be consolation only. And I'm very happy with that. As de Vita wins a header. Could we make it 3? Torres wide to Mellon. He's flying forward. Got support on the right-hand side. Goes back inside to Stamatis. No shock there. Finds Andreka. To Vaz. To Njo. Has support. Going alone though. What a game he's had. That shot's just wide of the post. It's 2-0. And that's how it's going to finish. If we can somehow recover these lads physically and back this up at the Etihad on Wednesday night, we have got probably our best chance yet of winning the title. I know we had that situation a few years ago where we were 7 points clear, but we always had that atrocious run in there. Here we're getting them out the way in January. We won't have to play Liverpool or City again with 3 months of the season to go. Our last couple of games are against sides in the bottom half. I really feel that we've got a chance to make this the year. Brilliant players. The midfielders continue to contribute the goals. We'll be back in a minute to face City, see if we can back up that great result. Well, our trip to non-league Accrington is unsurprisingly on TV, as we are back for fitness test time ahead of the City game. This is going to be a very tough test. Just 4 days later, City had the extra day's rest having played on Friday night. And it is basically the game in hand in the Premier League. If we look at the table, we could be 1, 4 or 7 points clear at the end of this game. And there is a big difference between being 1 and 7 points clear, isn't there? If we are 7 clear after this match with a better goal difference than City, we have to win the title. So let's see if we can get the win at the Etihad. We have got a pretty good record against City, but largely at home in previous years. And they've got this guy, who we were thinking about signing earlier in the season. We're linked with him for about 60 million quid. And he was a sort of player who we thought, if our strikers don't get scoring, I'm going to go 4-3-3 and have him out wide. As it is, he's now City's top scorer. They want 130 million, and we're not going to get him. They've got Jason Cross in centre midfield, who we tried to sign when we came up to the Premier League years ago. Didn't work out, but let's see who's fit. Because crucially, we've got Ignacio Jura back from suspension. He is in for striker in the starting 11. Has declined a bit himself, actually, so might have to look for a top-class centre-half this summer. Striker will be on the bench for a bit of an insurance policy. He'll probably replace Anders for this game, because not the game to introduce a new player. We have also got the chance to bring in Carlos Torres, I think. Or do I leave the front two for one more game? Because Ricketts won't be here on Saturday. And I've got to think fitness as well. So I'm going to keep that the same. Mellon against his former club. Yes, he's going to start. I think the rest of the team's going to stay as is. There's no need to make changes. So this is our squad for today. The only change is one to strengthen the team. Ignacio Jura back in after suspension. And striker dropping down to the bench. Fingers crossed it's enough. We were good against Liverpool. Can we be even better in this one? Well, we did mention both Jason Cross and Sheng, two players we've looked at signing in the build-up to this match. So I think we know who the goal scorers are going to be for City. Phil Foden remarkably still going on the bench in our, 17th, 18th season? But for now, our focus is purely on getting 3 points with Hemel Hempstead. Please let it be a good display. And then more importantly, after what we've seen in recent months, please don't let us throw it away at Burnley at the weekend if we win. Let's see how we get on. Jason Cross playing as a number 10. That does seem a bit of a surprise. He's more a classic centre midfielder, a box-to-box. But here he is in an advanced position, ready to prove me wrong. Goes flying down the left to Sheng. The two of them linking up straight away. Big spell for trouble, that. Jesek on the right puts it in. Headed away by Hanifan. We're going to miss Zaruk today, aren't we? As Mbusa into the back post. Good header, Hanifan again. Coronel picks the ball up. Long over the top. Strubeck chases. It's just overhit. Miku will pick it up in a City goal. Can roll it out. I'm sure they'll start from the back. And here's Davidson on it to Mbusa. Big ball down the left to Sheng, who flicks on. Only as far as Ignacio Jura. He should be pretty well rested here. Finds Hanifan at centre-half. Into Coronel in midfield. Over to Ricketts. Leave me with a gift. Oh no, off the post. I thought it was in. Inside of the post. And just came straight back out in the same direction. And now Mbusa's at the other end for City. Oh, he's given a penalty. He's given a penalty for absolutely nothing. That is infuriating. Absolutely infuriating. Never gets overturned. Come on, John Moore. I need you to save the day. Right-footed. Who's taking it? It is Mbusa v John Moore. John Moore saves! And John Moore holds it as well. That was not a bad penalty. Yes, the height was okay, but it was hit with power. It was right in the corner. Would have rippled the side netting. That is fabulous goalkeeping. He's under pressure from Murillo this year. We've signed him and he's played the Champions League group stages. He's improved and done really well. And it's just the pressure John Moore needed, because this is the best year he's ever had. We've got 5 minutes to the break. We're going to cling on for 0-0. And at half-time, do you know what? I'll take that. It's been a very cagey game. It's been scrappy like the Liverpool one was. But as I've said before, I've given you years of entertaining football here. This is all about getting an efficient job done. And at the moment, we're doing just that. We've got to the hour mark without any further highlights. And City have got a free kick at the back as they play out to Mackie. Again, the front three struggling. There's some really tired legs in that team. Though when Joe's nicked it high. Out to Coronel on the left. Please nick me a goal on the counter. Tyrese Ricketts delivers to Njo. Headed away as far as Mellon. Against his former club to Stamatis. Loves the long range strike. This time just goes back to Jura. Has support but instead goes to Coronel. And Njo to Ricketts. Final game for the club. And he's playing like he's already packed his bags. I'm going to encourage the boys. I want to leave it as long as possible. Can we nick a goal while we've got the momentum? As Njo finds Stamatis. Back to Jura. Quarter of the game left. He's in the half. There's only one player in her own half. And that was Hannafan by about a yard. Srubeck picks it up. Through ball to Njo. Great run. Terrible finish. Straight at the goalkeeper. Oh, we've got to make changes. We've got to make changes now. There are knackered legs out there. I'm going to take Class off for Delgado. I'm going to take Stamatis off for, I think, Louise. Or do I go Vass in a game this big? Don't think it makes that much of a difference. That's what we're going to do. Coronel there, switch sides, Vass centre midfielder. I'm going to leave the last one. I'm not going to do the strikers yet because someone might get too tired here. I'm tempted to go for Andreka off and maybe bring on De Vita just to shore that up. But let's see how this attack goes first. As Chidu, edge of the box for City. It's a great turn, great run. And John Moore's there again. He has been absolutely sublime when called upon today. And with 10 left, I'm sorry to do it. I know it's not the move that's going to win us a game. But De Vita on for Andreka. Let's make sure we don't lose it. That is the most important thing. Protect the legs at the back. We can rest people against Burnley. Hopefully get a good result still. As into 4 minutes of stoppage time. It's going to be a 0-0 draw. It's not been thrilling. It's not been exciting. But most of this season hasn't. Let's be honest. Lots of 1-0 wins. Lots of 2-0 wins. And a crucial 0-0 draw at City. Not exactly what we were hoping for. But the gap stays 4 points. We preserve it. And we're probably just about favourites in this title race now. I'm going to sympathise with the lads. Let's go and have a look at the schedule for a minute. It's going to be back. Which will include a Carabao Cup final. Well, there's the confirmation that we stay 4 points clear. It is going to go to the wire, though. Look how tight it is down to Arsenal in 6th. It is a mini-league. It's the traditional top 6 minus Chelsea, with us taking their place up there. And if we look at the schedule, you know when we're going to be back. It's not a Premier League focus, but you can't blame me for the games I've picked. We've got Real Madrid away from home in the first knockout round of the Champions League. The side that dumped us out last year, will they do it again? And then Southampton in the Carabao Cup final. They beat us in a domestic cup final last year at Wembley. Can we get revenge in a season we've done so well? We also play them in the meantime. After that, it's going to be a huge finish to the season. But if you're looking forward to it and you are starting to get optimistic that we can finally achieve the big one, then please do chuck a thumbs up on the video and subscribe down below for daily FM22 content. Let me know in the comments if you think we'll win the Premier League. Let's get it in early. See if we're right. Because a lot of you said it when we were 7 clear last time. This time it's 4, but much friendlier running on paper. Hopefully you want to stay up to date and find out. Turn that notification bell on to make sure you don't miss an episode. In the meantime, you can find all the key links in the eye above, including our Scandinavian save, our top 3 episodes, and our brand new experiment from last weekend. There's also a link up there to the football podcast, returning with weekly championship predictions and National League ones as well. A bit more related to our humble beginnings in this save, and the Twitch channel where regular live streams commence again. But thank you very much for watching. I'll put the top 3 playlist above my head now. And I'll see you back here in a couple of days' time to try and win our first trophy of the season.